Well, hi guys, I'm just out with Coombsy,
G'day.
and we're just on our lunchtime walk, Physiologic lunchtime walk, and
Get some UV, get some vitamin D into the bodies.
absolutely. And so we just got talking about our kids going back to school today. Today's the first day back, and we wanted to talk a little bit about shoe wear, because we were just talking about the shoe wear that we both had on and what we see a lot of. And yeah, look, my kids have been spending heaps of time in the holidays out of shoes. What about you, Coombsy?
Yeah, I can't think of really many more times than when they're riding their bikes they put their shoes on, but around the house, at the beach, they're barefoot.
Yeah,
95% of the time.
Yep. So me too. And yeah, look, I remember as kids ourselves, we all used to traipse around the countryside, no shoes on, and yeah, it appears as though the incident of foot problems today seems to almost be more than it ever has been. So we were just wondering whether we think the advent of big, strong, rigid, supportive shoes has perhaps created a situation where our kids and their feet have become maybe weaker over time, being more reliant on heavy, supportive shoe wear. What do you think, Coombsy?
I think, yeah, the big problem is is that transition from being barefoot all the time to wearing shoes. If you look at the shoes that a typical school shoe, they'll have a 3 or 4 centimetre heel in it, down to a 1 centimetre toe. So you've got a big drop in the shoe, so a shape of a wedge. They're heavy, they're pretty rigid, and they really don't allow the foot to move in its natural way. So when you're transitioning from being barefoot all the time to suddenly into this massive sort of clumping heavy shoe, then inevitably there are going to be problems.
Yeah.
So ideally, really, you'd have some sort of shoe that allows more movement, is lighter, has much less of a drop between the front and the back of the shoe, and just allows some freedom of movement. I think a good rule of thumb is if you're wearing a shoe, if your kids are wearing a shoe to school that they couldn't run around in, or you wouldn't consider it any sort of athletic shoe, then it's probably not the right thing.
Yeah, 100%. And so the tip we want to give to you guys today is to encourage your kids to spend time out of their shoes, particularly when they're not at school or out or away from home. And if you do buy a pair of school shoes, which you may have already done, yeah, maybe just have a think about a sort of shoe that's a little bit more compliant to the natural way in which our feet move and the way in which your child's foot moves. I'm just going to whip my shoe off here.
It's lucky it's not smelly vision.
Could you hold that, Coombsy?
At arm's length.
So this is my shoe, and Dave, you'll see, if you just do that, you'll sort of see it's quite bendy, quite a lot of flexibility.
Very light.
Very light, yeah. And that's probably contrary to the message that we've been given a lot over the last probably 8 to 10 years, and whatnot from various people and various professionals. But having seen a lot of kids, we feel like spending time out of shoe wear is really crucial, and that includes all sorts of different surfaces like sand, grass, even rigid surfaces, so like concrete. So that's our tip for today, and we'll be back with more back to school tips. If you really think this is a great tip, share it with someone who you think might benefit. But otherwise, give us a call, 557871. Thanks, Coombsy.
Cheers.
Actually, I gave you the wrong phone number. It's 5578 7155. Thanks, guys.